Well, we'll see if they end up dodging out of this because Robin was looking to wait, but they went ahead and just started. So we'll see what kind of bans we see this time. I'm curious to see if they'll ban Zed out this time because it seemed to be a pretty big problem going up for Olaf Zerks in the top lane. Just Kennen got really far behind. I think we saw a 70 CS disadvantage for Kennen versus that Zed top lane by the end of that game. And we are still stuck banning out that Kayle again, so there must be someone on Olaf Zerks that plays a ton of Kayle and they just don't want to deal with it, or they might, again, be looking for that Zed, because Kale's ult will counter the damage from Zed's ult. So we'll see what they have in mind. Yep, there's the Zed ban. They really just thought it was a huge problem coming out of Super Saiyan Pikachu. Kennen got so far behind, and it just became a problem. And see a Corki ban again? I mean, Corki's just a good, solid 80 carry. Or marksman, whatever suits your fancy. So, now let's see what the next ban is coming out of Olaf Zerks. Kassadin ban, pretty standard. Again, just Kassadin excels at roaming, does pretty well early game. He loses most of his lanes, but he can get snowballing really fast. And as soon as Kassadin gets going, it's really hard to deal with him. And we do see a Kennen ban. That's the one change we see from We Are Still Suck. I'm not sure why they're banning the Kennen. It could be that Super Saiyan Pikachu feels like he just doesn't want to deal with it now that he can't have Zed. So, that could be the reason, or they just don't like Kennen for some reason. I mean, I really do think that it's because that since Super Saiyan Pikachu can't have Zed, he's not too comfortable playing against a possible Kennen pick. And we see the Lee Sin ban this time. They didn't like it coming out of Reino Koei, and they also didn't want the possibility of giving it to Super Saiyan Pikachu, who is also known for his Lee Sin. And we see the Vayne first pick. They just let Bowser get that again. However, it looks like that since Caitlyn wasn't banned, they have a game plan. They're planning to stick that Caitlyn versus Vayne this time.
Oh, I'm back, guys. And I see that that Lee Sin and Zed will not be coming back.
Yep. So there's a small change up in the bans. Caitlyn was let through this time, and Kennen was instead banned by We Are Still Suck, and there's a change in the bans for Purple Team. They banned Zed and Lee Sin this time instead.
Okay. And yeah, Zed particularly looked like he did very well. Lee Sin also, you know, that mobility that we were talking about, especially with those Mobo boots,
right.
I think definitely did help. Considering most of the time it looked like maybe trying to be where Jarvan wasn't in terms of objectives. But he did, yeah.
I am now one of the happiest people in the world.
Yeah.
I love mid lane Evelyn.
Sharing is caring. We got my mid last time, so I guess we'll let yours going on. Could be jungling Eve, maybe. Could be mid Eve. I think those are really the only two positions you would really ever see her in.
Yeah. And before top lane.
Yeah, with Meikai out there, I don't know, Meikai's usually jungler. Meikai can top and he can mid, and I've played some mid Meikai, and it is extremely entertaining, though it's also kind of dangerous. He's got really fantastic poke, and he's got really great sustain as well. The only problem is, basically, anytime you want to go in for something, you almost have to all in, so he can be kind of dangerous. Top lane, I think he tends to do much better, but I think primarily you saw him in the jungle in Season 2. Do you know where he goes in Season 3 a lot, Frostwolf?
He's still mainly a jungler.
He's still mainly a jungler? Okay. Meanwhile, on the other side,
I mean, he's
Vayne,
already a tree. It's like camouflage.
I mean, yeah, basically. You can never see him in the jungle anymore.
And we see an insta-lock Vladimir to go up against what we presume is going to be Shen top lane.
Yeah, I think so. Out of Vi and Shen, Vi is usually the jungler, I would expect, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And Soraka.
Yeah, I really haven't seen Shen jungle much since Season 1, really, once they made the changes around. He does so much better in the top lane, just constantly split pushing. And again, kind of the strategy that we saw where, you know, if Shen manages to win the lane, should he be there, you know, to be one of those things where Shen can just start really pushing, forcing blue team to respond to that, and then taking advantage elsewhere. But we'll find out where that ends up going.
Split pushing can be really difficult to deal with.
And there we go, Sona. So yeah, with the Vladimir pick, this is going to be a really interesting team for blue team.
They have huge amounts of AoE damage.
Yeah, they really do. They have some great initiation. We can definitely see Meikai jump in there. Evelyn can follow it up as soon as Meikai drops down his ult. Vlad can drop down the ult. Vayne doesn't really, I think, fit in quite so much to an AoE comp, but I mean
more for the cleanup once they get all really low from Evelyn ult, Maokai ult, and Vlad ult. She's just gonna be there for the cleanup.
I agree with that, and there's definitely a huge possibility that with all this AoE, purple team is probably going to be trying to split out of it and not really want to stand right in the middle of it. So she could definitely pick off stragglers as they try and run, kind of fleeing the burning building.
That Orianna pick makes me think otherwise, because it looks like both teams have incredibly good team fight comps.
Yeah, very much so. Especially Nami and Orianna can be very nasty together, especially with Vi kind of knock them up again, shove them apart, pull them back in on each other, yell about everybody's mothers with Shen.
Get dunked. And I need to actually take a quick restroom break as well. It'll be like a minute.
Okay,
So
I'll just wait.
I'll wait until the loading starts, so that way I can take away the summoner blockers.
Okay, you know what I would really, really love for Shen? I would absolutely love if when Shen taunted a champion, a little Teemo head would appear on him.
That'd be pretty neat.
I would really, really enjoy that. They could make it the Meta Shen skin.
The Meta Shen?
Meta Shen.
Oh,
okay.
See a last-second switch. It is going to be a mid-lane Maokai.
And there we go. I'm really happy about that. Absolutely happy about that. You know, I really kind of thought that Evelyn was going to be the mid laner, especially since obviously we saw what they couldn't. But I hoped against hope, and it prevailed, and I could not be happier about it. Over on the other side, we do see that Vi is going to be the jungler. Not really surprising. Like I said, Shen has basically not jungled since Season 1. So that's not a huge amount of surprise. I guess he did do it for some of Season 2, but for the most part, his clear times just don't seem very fast anymore. So I'd imagine that's why he didn't. Down on the bottom lane, going to be a really exciting matchup. Kate has some great range on Vayne, and that Nami Bumble can really leave them open to punishment. Both having barrier, which Kate's a really safe pick, but if she gets locked down, she's going to be in for a world of hurt. And kind of the same on Vayne. She's got that condemned. She's got that roll. Both can kind of keep her safe. But if she gets caught by a Nami Bubble or a Shen Taunt, that can really do some serious damage there. But overall, I feel the barrier's a pretty strong pick for both of them. I think there's, it's not like both these teams are just huge amounts of CC. Just, 1, 2, 3 things here and there. So not that big of a deal. Got exhaust going on the supports. I think that's fairly standard at this point. We see an Ignite Smite Evelyn, which I don't think is hugely standard.
It is actually the most common
Really?
setup for Evelyn. When the summoner blockers were still up, I wanted to say something about it because I knew there was going to be a swap with Evelyn and Maokai based on the summoner spells.
Okay.
Because Smite Ignite Evelyn is very common because what she will likely do is get blue and red and then try and invade or go for a really early gank because that Ignite gives her a lot of damage, plus the burn from her hate spike spam, and plus the hate spike and ravage damage. So
okay.
She's looking for a very early kill.
Did I learn? Is it going to be the kind of early kill where she does, like a smiteless blue and then goes in on the enemy? Do you think, or is it going to be?
She will likely get level 3,
okay,
and get both buffs because she wants the speed boost, and then she wants all 3 of her skills. Because Ravage adds some good damage, Hate Spike adds a lot of damage because it applies red buff, and then she's got the Ignite for the extra burn. So, since they're blue team, I would expect Evelyn to look either for a gank mid if she starts blue, or bottom, depending on what kind of warding we see. But it's really up to her. A lot of Evelyns will start red, so they can kind of surprise the enemy, because most will expect them to start blue. And so if she starts red, look for her to gank top immediately.
Okay, well, that's if she starts red, they'll gank top?
Yeah, because she'll go red, blue, and then just go straight to the
Oh,
top.
yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about just do red straight to top. I'm like, that doesn't sound the most efficient there. Okay, well, either way, sounds like it's going to be a pretty exciting matchup here. And how do you think the strategies differ this game versus last game?
We'll see. Because definitely for We Are Still Suck, they don't have the disengage small engagement fight. So like they're not looking for small fights where it's like 2v2, 1v1 like they were last game. They're looking for big team fights because they have massive amounts of AoE this game.
Okay, and it looks like the other team is really kind of in the same boat there,
right.
as far as I can tell. So, it's going to be pretty interesting. Looking at that Skin Intimidation again, Dragon Slayer Vayne making that's a second appearance, correct?
Yep.
Yep, and Festive Maokai. So, we're about 3 months too early, but we're not going to tell him anything. He can do what he likes.
Bonus points for Christmas.
So only 2 skins. Meanwhile, down on the bottom, only Safari Caitlyn. So again, we can hand this one to blue team. I would have to say purple team getting Skin Intimidated.
Right.
That's what I tried to do last time,
And
then I said the wrong team.
I don't know if you pointed it out during my break, but Oriana was picked, and I really think that she was picking that to try and counter Evelyn.
Does the ball reveal Eve, or is it just if the ball goes through Eve, she's revealed? Is that a
if
counter
Evelyn
pick
gets hit during her stealth, she's no longer stealth.
Okay.
But Oriana has great harass early game and great zoning, so she was looking to try and zone out Evelyn, keep her from farming, keep her from roaming by shoving her into turret. But then we saw the last second switch from Maokai and Evelyn, so it'll be really interesting to see how Oriana handles this lane now.
Do you think that going against Maokai is going to be a difficult lane for her? Because I'm sure most people don't see Maokai in the mid lane very often, and I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it
matchup's
develops.
gonna go?
Maokai's got good poke through the sapling spam, and if he wants to engage for a gank from Evelyn, he will engage for a gank.
Yeah.
So what we should really be looking for is when Evelyn is looking for a gank or Maokai is looking for a gank, we just need to be looking for the twisted advance, and as soon as that happens, it can be very difficult. If Oriana doesn't flash, she's probably going to die.
That's probably a safe bet. And one thing to keep in mind, a lot of people kind of forget about Maokai's passive, and it's, every time a spell's cast near Maokai, so it doesn't have to be his own stuff, it can be enemy spells too, he gets charges, and after 5 charges he heals 7% of his max HP. And Oriana's one of those spellcasters who kind of throws out more often than usual, so we're going to be seeing a lot of regeneration from Maokai.
What's that? You want to spam against me a lot? Heal, 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 heal.
And that's again just one of those troubles with casters. Most of them do not have any innate regen, so any damage going on to Oriana is for the most part going to stick. But anything going on to Maokai absolutely is not. And here we go, blue team going for a really aggressive movement here. And is she going to get that ward down? I would be very surprised if she couldn't. Not even going to bother. She's just going to walk straight away from it.
Not even walk. She's going to float away. Magic Nami powers.
Swimming on air. How does that work?
Oh, that's sapling. Go sapling, you can do it. Ah,
no.
just close.
And looks like red team's maybe trying to shift. I'm not really sure. Vi looking a little late.
That looks like a full ward that was placed, not a Mastery's ward. I can't think of the name right now.
No welfare here. Yep, that's that. Yeah, that looks like a full ward to me.
Yes, I can see the timer on the spectator screen for some reason.
I don't think you can see the timer on it usually.
You're supposed to.
Oh, I haven't seen it for a while, but I could just not pay attention. That's entirely possible.
So yeah, we're actually seeing Evelyn starting red buff, so she's probably going to be looking for either that early gank mid, because of Maokai's twisted advance, or that gank top.
Yeah. And there we go, blue team standing, blue team with that ward knows exactly where red team is at that point. And they're going to back off, and yep, like you were saying, that red buff.
So usually when you see Evelyns with Smiting Knight, they will start red buff, because they are looking for that very quick kill.
Yeah. And I think purple team's going to have to kind of scramble a bit here, because this isn't, I would say, a usual mid and jungle. And they're gonna, and part of one reason I think why you've worked so well is that people really just don't play enough against her to really know how to deal with her.
Yeah, I agree. And what was really funny is Maokai threw a sapling over to the purple team blue buff, and effectively gave Vi a free leash.
What a nice guy.
Just trying to give him a little bit of help.
He's cleaning up the forest. He's cleaning up the forest. If you leave too much, there's a chance that it'll combust, and only you can prevent forest fires. So.
And so we see a first sapling going down onto Oriana. And again, as you were saying, Oriana used some spells instead of Maokai, and as soon as Maokai took damage, she's punched a creep and got his health back.
I'm honestly a little surprised based just on the... Oh, and there we go, a nice bubble down to the bottom, and that's some good damage going on to Vayne. We saw Vayne take a lot of damage early last time as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, she does have Sona, which again, a lot of regen, though Sona started with Q, which is, pretty natural. So, I don't know, at level 2 she'll start regenning, but I think she's going to get zoned a little bit until then. And here we go, Eve coming on to Vi, and there is the side, and she's going to start throwing down some damage. There's a slow going off.
Normally
and
this
that
Normally
trap.
it's a matchup that is in favor of Vi, actually, but Vi doesn't have her red buff, so that went completely in favor of Evelyn.
That trap that was put down to try to watch and see if they were going to be stepping in an aggressive position to make sure that that Kate didn't just face check into her death actually saved Vi's life there.
We see Evelyn starting the red buff steal. Vi is low health, so Evelyn's going to look to fight.
Oh, this is going to be dangerous for Vi. And there's the shield going down. Is it going to be enough? There's another ignite going down as well. Can she finish it? Yes! First blood barely goes off there, but that's going to be...
double bust for Oriana, but Maokai wants it too.
Yeah, and is he going to get it? I don't think so. So even though she got first blood, she did transfer double buffs over onto Oriana. and she didn't finish the red off either, so that means that Vi can come back in and get that, so...
Yeah.
overall, I don't really know if that was worth it.
No. Normally, Evelyn does not win against Vi at all. Vi just can out-tank and out-damage Evelyn in 1v1 jungle fights, and it just didn't help that it was a 1v2.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, Shen really having some trouble with Vladimir, which Vlad normally has kind of a weak early game, but...
So does Shen.
Yeah, but so does Shen, so...
And Shen is also not ranged, so Vlad can just auto-attack and spam Q all he wants.
Yeah, Shen with the rejuvenation bead. Meanwhile, Vlad taking the Doran shield. So I guess even if Shen jumps on, there's not a whole lot he can do. And Maokai doing some early roaming here. It looks like he's going to be face checking a ward really quick. But Kate's taking, yep, and there we go. Ward going to be going down. And is Maokai going to try and go for it here? Vayne certainly is. There's some damage. If she had the condemn, she didn't manage to get it off, which is unfortunate.
Saw Caitlyn flash pop there because if she didn't, she knew she was going to get caught.
And
Evelyn is down here as well, looking for something.
Yeah, I'm really, I'm not saying, I don't think disappointed is the word I'd use, but I'm a little surprised that Fitness didn't try and tap Maokai in the nose and deny him a bit of back there. And here we go, there's the condemn this time, and managing to dodge the bubble, which is very dangerous for Kate Devian. And Evelyn coming in, is she going to dive? She is going to dive! There's a nice barrier going off there, and a nice bit of teamwork there. Evelyn walking out, letting Vayne come in, take the finish there.
It almost turned really south for blue team there.
It really came close to it, didn't it? But I think that was some good teamwork and some good kind of knowledge of the mechanics of towers.
On top lane.
Yeah. Vlad trying to run away, and just barely dodging the fist there, but that is kind of a red on him. He has popped that ghost running away, and he is going to make it.
Yep.
Yeah, just a lot of
a missed Q from Vi.
Yeah,
just
a lot of
Vlad escape.
Yeah, a lot of aggressive action, and I don't know if that was a missed cue from Vlad or from Vi so much as a nice bit of footwork there from Vlad.
True enough.
Yeah.
And CS-wise, we see Vlad taking a lead up in that top lane, which is why Vi came up there, because Shen is just pressured into his turret constantly, and Shen has a really difficult time last hitting under turret.
Yeah. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, even on CS, which I think it probably wasn't even up until Vayne took the kill and then farmed a little bit. Not certain if she immediately backed after took some CS there, but.
So once again, Vayne getting that little bit of help to help her win that lane that she may not normally win.
And that's really what Vayne needs. You know, she kind of inherently has a weakness to really early game other ADs, especially Kate because of that range. So it's really nice to have that help from the jungler and just get the ball rolling there.
Yep.
Yeah. Because especially once the ball does get rolling, Vayne can be really, really nasty to deal with.
Yeah,
it's
she's one of the best late game carries in the
Yeah.
entire game because she just does so much damage and it's hard to catch.
Very hard to match her output. So, you know, since she's one of the better late games, she just kind of does really good snowballing. And here we go, Maokai getting caught out and decides, you know what, I'm just going to jump right onto Orianna. And I'm not really certain how I feel about that. I don't know if he decided to go in and just didn't quite notice, or if maybe he felt that he could get out, so he was just going to do enough damage that Orianna was going to either back or use some stuff or be worried about following up. Either way, he walked away and he did some good damage, so good on you, Maokai.
Yeah, he hit level 6, so I think he was looking to try and kill Orianna, but Vi just happened to be there. And now she's actually transitioning to bottom, where blue team doesn't have any wards.
And here we go. They're kind of walking up here, and are they going to make it on here? I don't think she does have that condemn up, so that is a possibility, but there's the bubble going down! A barrier and a flash immediately going off. She doesn't want any of it, but she's very, very low.
That was a great double bubble by Nami, forcing the flash.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Vayne.
Some really great play. Up at the top lane, Shen very low. And Vlad does his ult, but here's Orianna, and he's going to immediately throw in on Shen, who goes down as well, and Vlad looking to walk away, or maybe just do enough damage that Ori can't really finish it. I don't know what's going on, and there we go, an Ignite going off in Vladimir. Looks like she's trying to finish it off here. Her ultimate is up, so she could finish it. I'm not entirely certain. Did she not have the mana for it? It looks like no, she didn't have the mana.
She used the last bit of her mana to try and position the ball.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might have been better, especially since she's maxing W, if she had used the W to get closer and just keep on auto attacking. But you know, I think that's probably a bit of hindsight, and I think what she did was probably the best move at the time.
Yeah, especially since she backed up, since she realized that Maokai was coming in, and that she was going to certainly die if she kept pursuing that.
And that's some good awareness there, because you know what, if you get a kill, but you're also giving a kill to the enemy mid, you've got to figure out what's more worthwhile. And if you can't really just make it right on the fly, then backing off isn't the worst option you could do.
Yeah, and we see Maokai pick up that blue buff now, so we should be seeing the saplings fly.
Yeah, and
our saplings will blot out the sun.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying seeing Maokai, because again, you don't see him very often. and I really just kind of love seeing the tanky APs getting some playtime.
Yeah.
There we go, a pink ward going down onto the mid lane, which, you know, making sure that Evelynn can't sneak in, but if you're going to do that, I'm wondering if that's the best placement for it.
And Evelynn seems to think no, because she's coming right from behind.
Yeah. And there we go, great combination, and it's going to be a good bit of damage, and yeah, they are going to try and follow it up, and the ultimate doesn't manage to go off. Fortunately, she does get that cooldown back. I don't think the ultimate really would have made the difference between a kill or not anyway, so probably for the best, but yeah.
So that ward placement's actually not bad. One of my favorite things to do as Evelynn is to slip into lane just through lane and maneuver myself in such a way that I get behind them where they may not have warded, so I can easily with Evelynn maneuver myself to get behind someone.
Okay.
And so that's probably why she put the ward down, but then Evelynn's just like, I'm just going to go around the normal way.
Okay, and that's certainly fair enough, you know, and probably what happened, she might have even wanted to do that, but when Maokai pinged down that ward in the middle, Evelynn immediately knows that she's free to come into the backfield there.
Yeah,
so
that enabled that kill, and what we were talking about earlier, where if Evelynn wanted to get a gank in that mid lane, Maokai was just gonna twist it advance. We see aggression bottom.
And here we go, crescendo going on, and there's a nice wave so that Nami has a chance to not be completely caught by that. And there we go, Sona trying to just regen them up as fast as possible. Nice kill from Vi going down. It looks like Vi entirely kind of missed that fight there, so sorry about that. Frost, did you catch that?
Yeah, I saw it go. I saw the Maokai flash happen on the minimap, and then went and saw it. And we see Vi going down bottom, but there's a pink ward, so they know. And blue team's already backing anyways.
Yeah, and again, some really great warding. Some really... I don't know if defensive's the word I'd use for this. That one clearly was pretty defensive, but up in the top lane, that blue ward being dropped down in the Wraith camp, I guess it can be used very defensively, knowing where that jungler's being.
Yeah. And as I was saying earlier before we had to talk about team fights, just when Evelynn ganked that Maokai, or ganked his own teammate, ganked that Orianna in mid, Maokai immediately just twisted advance and locked down Orianna, and then all the CC and damage came off at that point.
Yeah. And Vlad seriously having the ball rolling, and here we go, here's the ghost, and there's the ultimate as well. He's going to be trying to chase after Shen. Shen does not have his dash up for 3 seconds. There's the ignite going as well! And just manages to burn out there.
Vi looking up to respond to that and maybe hold the turret, but we'll see what she can do.
I don't think she can really do a whole lot of response. She can hold the turret, I agree, but I don't think she has any real kill potential on Vlad with that Hextech revolver there.
Right. And so now that they see Vi's up top, blue team is immediately making a move on Dragon.
Yep, and again, it's one of those things, force a mismatch somewhere, in this case, the top lane again. Force that mismatch, make sure that they have to respond to it, and as soon as they do, that leaves you free for objectives elsewhere.
And Caitlyn and Nami had also backed, so they didn't even have any chance to contest.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate, and you know what, that's just one of those things. I think Red Team's been playing together with each other so long, because, you know, they obviously were together last tournament, so they've been together for quite a while. Once you play with somebody for that length of time, you start to really figure out, you know, where your team excels at, where maybe they need a little bit of polish, or maybe some areas that you want to try and defend and round out. And I think that they're doing this this force it mismatch and exploit it elsewhere strategy just really perfectly.
Yeah, they're taking advantage as much as they can. We see Vi going in on top. Vlad forced the pool. Vi's takes a lot of damage. Vlad trying to get away. He does not have Ghost or Flash.
And there we go.
There's at all, so.
There's the Ignite going down, but he does manage to finish off Vi before he drops.
Unfortunately, Shen didn't get the kill, so the double buffs that were on Vi were lost.
Yeah, very...
Okay, going in to gank Shen.
And here we go, and there we go. There is a sapling, and I really love that because that sapling gives him the vision he needed to be able to do that twisted advance. He's not able to follow it up, unfortunately, but I really love that he didn't try and just walk in there and let Shen walk out after. Unfortunately, Shen's sticking around, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Turret punch down.
And here we go. Shen is... oh! Dodge out of that ultimate. Very unfortunate. Shen's trying to get away. Not sure if he's really going to be able to. Though Maokai can't afford to wait around a huge amount of time. And there we go. Yeah, Shen is going to walk out.
Vi actually heading to the bottom lane now, trying to get some aggression down there because Vayne and Sona are both low health.
Yeah, though Evelynn's going to be doing her red, so if they take too long about this, Evelynn will be able to respond to it. And here we go. Here's the charge up. And it doesn't quite manage to go far enough. They do manage to get up onto Sona. And it looked like Vayne actually stepped onto a trap, and there's the bubble there, so that's going to be some good damage. Is it going to be enough? No, not going to be doing follow-up. It looks like pretty much everyone's out of mana at this point. Not enough for Ace in the hole either.
However,
and here comes Evelyn sneaking in behind, and again, they're basically out of mana at this point, and here she is, stepping right up onto Kate. Kate doesn't even have enough for a net at this point, so she has to flash out, has to try and do what damn she can, and there we go. One going down, and red team is going to have to start running away. Shenalt trying to come in here. It looks like that's purely defensive. Vi trying to turn that around, but not enough to the point that they can really get in on there.
And Vlad's coming down now.
And here we go, again, the world's longest team fight. Going right in, and there's the ult catching two people. Very perfectly, Vi realizing that she's going to be going down, trying to take someone with her, and Kate barely managing to get away from that. And here we have Orianna. When will it ever end? She is stepping on the ward, so they do know, and she's stepping into more of a defensive position. Blue team is going to be backing, kind of leaving Maokai to not really bother, just go right for that turret there.
Yeah. So, the world's longest team fight.
Yeah.
That was, we just saw repeated rotations. We saw Vi get on bottom, and once blue team realized that Vi was there, they sent Evelyn over. But once red team realized that Evelyn was there, they sent Shen down. But once blue team realized that Shen was going down, they sent Vlad down.
And that was a great rotation from Maokai after taking that turret, dropping down the E, the root, dropping his R down to completely mitigate the ultimate damage. Just a really great rotation. Looks like it did about 2/3 of Orianna's health too, so by a very respectable amount of damage.
We actually saw Nami trying to pull off a gank onto Vlad, kind of, where Shen tried to get a taunt, but Vlad perfectly timed his pull to dodge both the taunt and the Nami bubble.
Yeah, that troll pool can really just shut down some gank attempts no matter how well played.
Maokai doing some good damage.
Kind of low, and here comes Shen as well. He realizes maybe it's not a bad thing. There's the twisting advance to try and get in some distance. Drop down the R, and there's the health regen as well. That 7% max health. Doing everything he can to try and stay alive. And here's Evelyn trying to throw and trying to push him off, but Vi's coming in as well. And he's going to jump back on with that twisted advance. It is going to take him down because he did not get his 7% regen off of that one, but he did manage to get Eve a kill there. So kind of a 1-1 wash.
However, this Evelyn is 5-1-1. She does not need to be getting more kills.
Yeah, and we can see they've done a lane swap here. They feel that, I guess, Vladimir has enough regen that he's going to sit down in this bottom lane. He has great kind of wave clear with his EQ as well. So they're going to do that and leave Vayne and Sona up in the top to try and maybe push down this tower. We can see Vi going to respond to it. We have Orianna going to respond to it. Not sure if that's going to work out. And Eve kind of waiting in the wings here. Is she going to wait until they get in close and push in, you think?
The pink ward was pinged out, so she's, I think, trying to wait and figure out the best approach.
Okay,
and a pause coming out.
Kind of, okay. Oh, okay, Nami DC. And yep, there goes the Nami DC as well. And right back, so the action's going to continue.
So far we're seeing, just again, great advantage being created by blue team.
Yeah, and it's really...
There's dragon timers now?
Yes, there is. There are. Yes, there...
English is hard.
I mean, I don't think that should be a plural. I really don't.
Everyone looking to come down and gank that bot lane, but she's not even caring about the pink ward anymore.
Oh no, that's dangerous. Kate stepped out to try and ward, and they are going to jump in on it, and there's some really great damage going down from Vladimir. And Nami going to be trying to give that speed buff, try and go away, but it looks like they're going to try and all-out dive this. A really great tidal wave trying to keep Vlad out from doing damage as much as possible, but it's not going to be enough. And they're going to deal some great damage and trying to walk away. And here comes Tree kind of lumbering in as well. And yeah, they're going to take Nami down as well. Very unfortunate. And just, again, some really great play. Some really great chemistry from Blue Team, knowing exactly when to go in, when to go out. Not leaving anyone to eat towers without cost. And there we go. Evelyn going to be immediately running away from that. And the tower goes down, so Orianna is not protected anymore. And she's going to have to run. But here's the Ghost coming from Light. He's going to try and finish it off. And there's a great shield, but that auto attack does barely manage to finish it off. And we can see that Vayne and Sona are up on that mid tower doing, again, some really great damage.
Right. And I think that fight bottom could have gotten a lot cleaner for blue team if Evelyn hadn't hit the trap, but she just didn't know it was there, so it was just a little unfortunate. Yeah. And I think that the rotation from Orianna was just too late. And that once she realized that Nami and Caitlyn were dead, she should have just backed off.
Evelyn seems to really find those snap traps. She has a sixth sense for cupcakes.
She just really enjoys eating cupcakes.
Yeah, and one thing that I think is just a little unfortunate, again, going back to that chemistry, it just really seems that Blue Team really has a great knowledge of when to move up and when to move back, and I'm sure that champions like Evelyn and Vladimir, which are just these strong gankers, strong pusher. Well, Vlad's not really a strong ganker, but Evelyn's a strong ganker.
Okay, dealing great damage to Caitlyn bottom.
Yeah, and both of them just these really strong pushers it really is just absolutely difficult when you're up against a team that really knows their stuff on this kind of thing, that no matter how well you play, as soon as you start to backslide a little bit and they really kind of wedge their foot in the door, it's just so difficult to force them back off of it.
Yeah, they are capitalizing on the enemy's mistakes really well and making minimal ones themselves.
Yeah, and that's just, sometimes it doesn't matter, how great you play when the other team has the advantage in a stats-based game. And we're seeing Red Team, I don't think, really doing anything wrong. They're really making some great plays. They're trying to keep wards up, even though Blue is dropping a lot of pinks down on their own. And they're trying to respond and even trying to be preemptive in what Blue Team's doing. But it's just so tough, and they have such an uphill climb that they've really got to make some kind of move and catch somebody out if they're going to come back from this.
Agreed. And they found Evelyn.
And here we go. This could be what they're looking for. They managed to shovel into a great bubble, and that is going to get Evelyn. This could maybe be what they're looking for because Dragon is live at this point. I'm not sure if they're aware of that, but with Evelyn down, they really want to try to make a move on that. And here they go, jumping in again, a nice pool there, but they are left standing in, and there goes the Vlad pool going down, and it looks like that is going to kill Nami, and leaving Vi kind of standing amidst them there. And there's the Sona going down as well, kind of locking down Kate. She is going to try and run away. There's the exhaust on her, so she is a little bit slowed, and they're following up with some great damage as well. Shen coming in, and there is the Shen ult trying to put him away, and again, very unfortunate, they managed to get that Evelyn out of the fight. They straight up killed her, but it looks like maybe they used a little bit too much and didn't have enough left over for Blue Team afterwards.
Shen trying to taunt Vayne into attacking her so the turret will aggro her, but Vayne just goes in anyways.
Yeah, and she did take some good damage. Doesn't look like it was quite enough, and that's going to be, I would imagine, an inhib out of this. So 15-5, about 1,000k gold advantage, and again, Red Team's going to have to catch. Looks like one isn't enough, or they're going to have to use maybe a little less on that one. But they're going to, again, seriously have to catch someone. Sona is trapped there, but it doesn't look like it's quite enough. Trying to do the rundown, and it looks like Meikai is going to be going down here. So Red Team, if they can make some action off this, could maybe start to climb out of the bit of the deficit they're in at the moment.
Oh, Vi might be out of position. Or Vayne, however you want to look at this.
And here we go, here's some push, and she does have that red buff. That's great damage and great sustain as well. And is she going to get it? Yes, she is. An immediate flash out, so great play from Vayne there.
Oh, hits the trap.
And those traps, those cupcakes are too delicious.
Meanwhile, Evelyn with the response might pick up a triple here.
Goodness, that is some nasty Evelyn play. That Leandries plus that Spear to the Elder Lizard turns it into a double. And is she going to get away from this? There's the Ignite going down, and no, there's the Ace in the hole, and that is going to take down Evelyn.
Crazy fight.
Yeah. And man, that Evelyn, great aggression there. I know that some people get a little cautious when they see multiple enemies, but it looked like Evelyn knew immediately. Maybe not exactly what she could or couldn't get away with because she did die, but you know what? She got 2 kills for that, so that's a good trade in my book.
I'm just enjoying this Evelyn play right now. I love Evelyn.
Yeah, like I felt about the Gragas, it's really exciting to watch your mains played in really great ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see Vladimir pushing up top.
And kind of on the
trying to split push that Shen, and so far he's doing a great job.
Yeah, kind of on the flip side, there's nothing really more frustrating than seeing your champions played maybe not wrong, but in a way you feel is maybe a little suboptimal.
I agree.
Yeah, though I'm not really seeing any of that here. Looks like everyone's making some great decisions so far. Builds, I'm not seeing anything that's really raising my eyebrows, though I do see that unfortunately it looks like Vayne is a pretty good amount ahead of Caitlyn, which is very unfortunate considering how much she scales. But with all the objective control Blue's been having, that's not really what I call surprising. Vlad just finishing Death Cap. Nice play from here. And here we go, kind of some movement going on in this Blue team. Vi maybe looking, not sure if she wants
Red
it,
team's about to get pincered.
And this is going to be nasty. Meikai coming in. No, not coming in from the back.
They don't have Vladimir, that's what they're
Yeah, and that's a big point there, Sona. Not going to be all out going for it. And we can see that Red Team is just kind of a ball, just kind of this cluster forming in the middle of this wraparound from Blue Team. So Blue Team's staying with them, always moving, always staying on the outskirts of them, but never letting themselves be caught.
Yeah, they're doing a great job just kind of dancing out in the range, and Meikai going in on Caitlyn.
Here we go, some great follow-up as well, and she's gonna fall. She's gonna fold down to that great damage there from Blue Team. Up in the top lane, Evelyn chasing down Vi, and they're gonna be forced to walk away from it. And there's the ultimate. Meikai with a flash over the wall, coming down. They're locking on to Shen, which I think is a little surprising. Nami just barely living, and no, she is going to be finished off by that Vladimir, and it looks like they actually have a couple options here. It looks like they're gonna shift into the bottom tower instead of the top one. And they are going to be looking to take that. Maybe are they going to go right for the middle? No, they're going for the middle, and there they go, doing some great damage onto Shen. And Shen is going to just fall down, and Vi going to go right behind her, so a 4-for-0 engagement. And I think this is probably going to be the match. The 30-second timers, and yes, Meikai being a great teammate, taking that for Vayne so she can stay in. Keep doing that tower damage, and they're standing up, and there we go. Orianna going down again, so it's just Kate. Is Kate going to be able to finish off the Meikai? No, he's going to walk out, and she's trying to do any damage she can, but it's just not enough against this onslaught of blue standing on the Nexus. And there we go, Vayne coming in. Is she going? Yes, she is going to fall down. But I think it might be too little too late here. They're doing everything they can to keep this Nexus up, and Meikai jumping in and getting Caitlyn as well, and that is going to be the game. Goodness. Team We Are Suck is going to be taking Clemson Collegiate Clash, the C-Cubed games here for fun.